But not everybody has that luxury. And some live with regret. I wish I could have said, I'm sorry. I wish I would have said, I love you. There are many things that hold us back from that, even sometimes when we have good times. Sometimes what holds us back is that we don't know how to communicate. We don't even know how to say I love you. Other times, because there's so much water under the bridge that we aren't sure how to start back over. But deep in our hearts, there's God. I want to say that underneath, do you love me? Quite honestly, if you're grieving, probably because you're not. And Lord willing, through the Spirit, will do that. And really, if we got that, it also helps me to realize that I want people to know in my relationships with them now that they're loved. That I care about them. How much I treasure them. Because relationships come and go. They aren't certain. And sometimes we do deal with grief, regret, guilt. 1 Corinthians 5:15 says that God was in Christ reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, and committed unto us the word of reconciliation. There's a ministry of reconciliation, of restoring our hearts with God that we're called to do. What God did is made him to be sin. He took our sin, our hurt, our pain on himself, that we might experience the righteousness of God. I know we live in an imperfect world. Some of us grieve because we never had relationships with our moms, or dad, or our brother, or sister. And it's hard to look when somebody dies as an abusive parent. How do you deal with the jealous sister who never cared about you? How do you deal with the prodigal son who ran away and never embraced the religion? How do you deal with those relationships? Truth is, we may grieve in different ways over those. Because the relationship may not be as close as a father or a mother normally is. But we can grieve for what might have been. We can grieve for the hurt of what we'd hoped would take place. And sometimes the grieving for that part of the process of turning our hearts back to God. Give your guilt away, remove the regret, and you have the opportunity today to take another step toward letting somebody else know that you care about them. Let them know they're important to you. Don't let the day go by without doing it. Take the step. Tears in a bottle. I remember the Tuesday reunion ended and my family went back. You know, actually, I think the hardest time after someone dies is when the funeral's over and everybody leaves. And the loneliness begins to set in. My mom called me. It was probably 5 months after my dad died. It was a hard day for her. I just asked her how she was doing, and she started crying. She said, you know, I should be over it by now. Mom, it doesn't work with me. There's always the first afterwards, right? The first breakfast. The first exciting event, and you want to share it, and there's nobody there. There's a whole host of firsts. The first Christmas, and the first birthday, and the first flower. And then another year passed. Does the grieving ever go away? It gets easier. I remember my mom sharing, I don't have to